Hi everybody, I'm Claire and this is my vlog, Loves Red Sews. So welcome back if you are an existing subscriber and welcome if you are new. So it's actually been 2 weeks since I have done a Sunday sews and that is because last weekend we were away just on the Saturday meeting up with friends, and we also had plans originally for Sunday which got cancelled. But I had quite a busy weekend, so if you have been keeping up with my vlogs you will have seen that I put out a different vlog last week all about the bag that I made, which is the leather bag, and it was a DIY kit from Babylon Leather. So if you haven't already watched that vlog, then go ahead and pop over and have a watch of that video. It was a kit that was gifted to me and I absolutely loved making it up, and I actually used it today when I was out and about. So yeah, I absolutely love it. Sorry if I look a bit warm. I feel very warm. I've been outside trying to tidy my garden up a little bit today. So this week we had our front and back gardens jet washed, and it's kind of spurred me into just giving them a little bit of a tidy. It's very overcast out there today, but it's still quite warm. So I've just been pottering around out there, but I feel quite warm now. So before I start, I will just share what I'm wearing. I've got on a Tammy handmade Naya t-shirt in a cotton jersey that I got from Rachel's Stitched Up D-Stash, and I'm wearing it with my lame pants, which I think I have previously shared and I've shared over on Instagram. I am wearing these quite a lot actually. They're very comfortable. I've made these in a size 12, and to be honest I think I could possibly get away with doing a 10 because there's still a bit of room here on my hips. I mean, they're very kind of floaty and comfortable, but I think I might possibly size down one more size again and see what that fit is like. So today I'm just going to be sharing with you some updates on things that I've been making, some plans that I've got, and then a few bits and pieces that have come into my sewing room. So I hope you enjoy today's vlog. So what have I been sewing recently? So since you last saw me, I was making up a couple of garments for So Fruity. So I finished both of those, and those were shared as part of the challenge. Unfortunately I didn't win anything, but to be honest I wasn't too unhappy about that, though. It's, you know, it's kind of like luck of the draw with a challenge like that. There was a lot of entries, so I knew I wasn't in with you know, a big kind of chance, and I was absolutely fine with that because the garments that I made up I love, and I didn't make them just for the challenge. I made them for me to wear, so I will also enjoy wearing them. So the first thing I made was a tank top actually. So I'd made one of these previously, and I just wanted to test out the pattern. I really liked the look of it. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone because I don't tend to wear garments too fitted, but I made it in this lemon print cotton jersey. So I'll just bring it up a little bit closer. It's lovely and bright, and this was a D-Stash fabric that I bought off the Palestine for D-Stash for Palestine page, and this is by Grisalia fabric. So I decided, I hadn't actually planned to do this for So Fruity as such, but I had a little bit of time and I thought perfect, I will just quickly whip one of those up. So I will pop a picture in up here of me wearing it so that you can see what it looks like on. I'm still slightly on the fence about how fitted it is, but people keep telling me that it looks really nice, so maybe I should just take the plunge and wear it. And just be proud to wear it. But yeah, I love this, and this fabric is just, it's all my kind of colours, and obviously a nice lemon print. It's got these little hearts dotted in there as well. So and I also put a little label in there that says "You are the zest." So that was my first fruity make, and then my second fruity make was the Anthea blouse. This is by Anna Allam. So I made a size 12 in this. I haven't made any adjustments to the pattern apart from this time, and this was a friend of mine, Anna. She told me that she'd done this and it hadn't even crossed my mind to do it, but the neckline can come up sort of slightly high, I suppose a little bit like this really. And she said what she did on hers is she just cut the neckline at the lowest level, so sort of like the smallest size, and it just brings it down very slightly here. So that's what I did on this version. Obviously I went with this strawberry theme. This was also a de-stash fabric that I bought from a lady called Maxine Norris, who was selling this piece of fabric, and I just loved it. I've seen someone else make this up into the Anthea blouse, and I just think it looks lovely. It's a beautiful quality viscose linen, so it's nice and cool for this weather. I went all out with the strawberries, and I put strawberry buttons on that I had in my stash. I added 2 strawberry labels. I kind of joined them together. This was a Sarah Hart's label, and I think this one may have been from Hey So Sister, and then this was some Specky Seamstress binding that I also had in my stash. So I kind of went all out with the strawberries, and I love this, and I will pop a picture in. I've actually got it on with these lame pants in the photos, so you will see me wearing it with that, and I think it goes really well because the green in this goes quite nicely with the green of the trousers. So I'm getting plenty of wear out of these trousers so far, which is great. So yeah, it's just been a little bit too warm this week to actually wear this. I've been sort of mainly wearing kind of very lightweight clothes, sort of sleeveless tops, that kind of thing, because it's just been, we've had a little bit of heat wave this week in the UK, which I am sure you have heard if you are not based in the UK. And then the other thing I made up this week is a pair of Petra shorts. Now I do quite often have plans on my list, and sometimes I just get an inspiration for something, or like this week we had hot weather and I suddenly thought, do you know what, I could do with another pair of shorts. So that is what I kind of did. These were actually made last week, and I decided on a spur of the moment just to cut them out, and I then kind of made them up over a couple of days. I was on a couple of sewing socials during the evening and made them up there, and they were all completed. So this is the shorts. So I have made these before in a tomato print denim, which was from Fabric Godmother, and I made them in a size 14, and although I wear them quite a lot, they are very slightly on the larger side and probably a little bit too loose. So I kind of thought to myself, when I make my next pair, I would quite like to size down and see what the next size down was. So I actually made these ones in a size 12. So all I did on the pattern that I had printed out was I just cut around and cut the 12. So I just kind of cut a little slither off all of the pattern pieces. I had previously shortened these shorts slightly because I think they would have been too long on the leg for me, and the actual outcome of these is perfect. So this fabric is a stretch denim. This is also a Fabric Godmother fabric. This was a remnant piece that I had in my stash. I think it was less than a metre and maybe about 80 centimetres. So it was perfect for these shorts. So they have a nice flat front. You've got these kind of big pockets here. They have a lovely big facing inside. So this is on the front. And I finished off the facing with some of the panda bias binding that was gifted to me, and I think that just goes really nicely, and I love that I've got pandas inside my shorts. And the back of the shorts have an elasticated waist, so it's not overly elasticated, and to be honest, these fit absolutely perfectly, and I'm really pleased with them. And what I like about this is they've got lots of different colours in them, so I can pair sort of plainer tops with them and pick out some of these colours. I realised though in my sort of t-shirt drawer that I don't actually have that many plain t-shirts. I think I had a white one and a red t-shirt, that's about it. So I am thinking about just buying a little 1 metre piece of like maybe this colour and also the yellow, so that I've got a couple of extras to match in with these shorts. But yeah, I'm really pleased with those. I'll pop a couple of pictures in to show you what they look like, but yeah, they have already been getting quite a lot of wear, and yeah, they've been great this week in the heat wave. So after I'd made all those, I was kind of thinking, right, what's next? So I kind of made a few little plans, and I decided to cut out a few things this week, and I didn't think I'd get as much cut out as I had. I think on my last video I talked about a couple of things that I want to make, one of them being the now blouse in a yellow gingham. So I haven't actually got that made up yet, but I have cut that out, so it's all here in my project bag ready to go, ready for me to make a start on. This is just a piece that's left over, but this is the fabric. So I've gone with the sort of button front v-neck sort of straight blouse, no peplum, and then I've gone for the puffball sleeves because I think that would just look really nice in this. So this is just a cotton gingham seersucker. It's very lightweight. I think it will be lovely to wear for the summer. It's probably slightly paler than what I would normally buy, but I just love the colour of this, and I think it would just be perfect for a nice little summery blouse. So that is all cut out, ready to go. I have also cut out this dress. This was the last one I cut out this week actually. So this is the Nomi ME2016. I have made one version before in the longer length. I prefer this actual kind of longer length. So it's midi here, but on me it's just slightly longer. It's probably more maxi, and I've been wanting to make another one of these for a while, and I decided to use my Bowden fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. I know previously I talked about making up a more of a slip style dress, or a dress with not too many seam lines. Then I saw Julie from Julie Souza and Clothes, and she had made, I think it was the Belle dress by Style Arc in the Bowden fabric, and it had a few more seam lines, and I thought actually it looks really good. It looks absolutely beautiful on her, and I thought, do you know what, I can get away with making a dress with a few more seam lines. So I decided to go ahead and cut that out this week. So I did have a few issues. I'm just trying to find the bodice front. Yeah, so my first priority was making sure the bodice, the front of the bodice, was kind of, I wanted something on the pattern kind of statement in the middle. So I cut it out with this kind of sun. I've heard people refer to this as a fried egg, but I kind of tried to get that right in the middle of the bodice, and I think I've done a pretty good job of that. And to be honest, I almost made a bit of a hash of cutting this dress out, because I concentrated on placing the pattern piece for this, and I cut it out on the flat, so I didn't do it on the fold, just to make sure I got that right in the middle. And then I started placing all the other pieces, and I almost couldn't get everything on, and what I was trying to do was actually place all the sort of main sort of parts, so the bodice front, possibly the bodice back, the sleeves, so that I had something you know, symmetrical on both sleeves. Unfortunately, it got to the point where I was running out of fabric, and I couldn't quite get the two sleeves looking symmetrical. So I think on one of the sleeves I also have this kind of sun sort of in the middle of the sleeve here. On the other one, I think it's a bit further down, so unfortunately they're not going to be symmetrical, which is a little bit frustrating, but I kind of thought, well, I'm just going to have to go with it now and see how it comes out. And I'm just hoping the fact that it's going to be busy enough that it's not going to be too much of an issue, but I think we'll just have to see when it all gets put together. But I think I was just more concentrated on making sure the front, that's probably going to be the most noticeable bit, and then all the bits with the gathers, they will kind of gather in a little bit anyway. So you're going to lose a little bit of the sort of design on all of these kind of gathers and around here. So I wasn't too worried trying to match any of this up. I just wanted the front to look good. So I'm hoping it all comes out okay. I do still need to cut out some of the lining pieces. I pretty much lost the will to live on Thursday night. I think I was cutting this out, and I pretty much lost the will to live. It was warm, it was late, it was getting close to sort of 10 p.m. and it had taken me quite a long time to cut out all of the pieces. There's quite a few pieces for this, and I kind of gave up by then. I got the main dress pieces cut out, and I thought I'll go back and cut out the lining pieces separately at a later date when when I've got a bit of a better headspace. So I still need to do that bit, but the main dress is all cut out. So I'm just hoping when it all comes together that it will look good now, because it would be a bit frustrating if it doesn't, but it's one of those things. The other thing I cut out, I actually cut out another 2 pairs of lane pants this week. They are in a plain black. So I've had this fabric in my stash for quite a long time. I'll bring it closer so you can see, but this is a kind of a rammy linen. Don't know if you can see the texture on there at all. I originally got this from Lamazi Fabrics quite a long time ago, and I think I was always going to make some kind of trousers with it. So I decided to cut the lane pants out. I have cut them out in a 12 again, but I'm tempted to just take off a little bit more of the sides and maybe the width of the legs, just to go down to the 10 as I mentioned. And then the other fabric I cut out is a plain red, and this is the fabric that I bought from Beyond the Pink Door when I was there visiting, which is a lovely washed cotton, and this also has a nice texture. I don't know how well that's coming up on the camera. I bought the last of the bolt when I was in the shop, which was 2.3 meters, and it was the exact amount I needed for those trousers. So I think that's worked out pretty well. I don't have any of that fabric left, so I just about squeezed it out of that. So I'm quite happy to have cut both of those out. I'm can't believe I've actually cut so much out this week, to be honest. Considering I was working full time, I've done 2 sewing socials this week, and I've managed to cut out 5 things this week. So that is pretty good going, I think. I've not actually done much sewing this week, just mainly cutting out, but I'm getting myself organised, ready. So the other thing I got cut out, as you are probably aware, I am one of the vlogging team that is assisting Sarah from My Handmade Wardrobe with her new venture, which is the Weekend Sewing Club. So I am involved in that, and each month there is a new pattern coming out, and the idea is that it's kind of designed for busy people that don't have a lot of time to sew. So you make up the garment, and it is generally meant to take a couple of hours, 2 to 3 hours or 2 to 4 hours or so over the course of a weekend. So if you've got a busy life, you can get a garment made up. So I'm currently making up a sample of the next pattern, which is called the First Rays Sundress. I will pop a picture of it in here. And I was a little bit undecided about the kind of fabric to use. I had a bit of a dig around in my stash, and I pulled out, I think, maybe about 3 fabrics, and I decided to go with this particular fabric. So this is just a remnant. Oh no, this is one of the bodice pieces, but it's this fabric here. So this is a lovely cotton lawn, so it's nice and lightweight, and I bought this from Rachel Stitched Up, from her D-stash some time ago. It's been sitting in my stash, and I thought actually that would be perfect for a sundress. So it's quite a basic sort of sundress. You have the opportunity to do a button placket at the front or not. You can do it without. I've done it with, but it's actually a faux button placket. So you just, this is one of the side sort of pieces, and my button placket is all there ready to go. You sew that down, and then I think you just sew the dress together, and then you put buttons through it. So You can make them that they open, but also for quickness you can make it so they're just there for show, which I think I'm going to do, to be honest. And then you've got different options for the back of the dress, and you can do like a sheared panel on the back, or you can do elastic channels. I chose to do elastic channels, so I did that on my one of my sewing socials this week, and this is the outcome. So this is the back panel, and I'll just bring it a little bit closer. I've not actually done this before with the channels, but I think it looks quite neat. So you've got that elastic, and there's 5 channels there, and then these obviously the side pieces will connect to the side pieces of the top, and then you have some like thinnish kind of straps, and then it's a gathered skirt on the bottom, which also has the faux button placket panel down it as well. So you will have seen, I've popped a picture in of it here, of one of the examples. So I'm looking forward to getting that made up. So yeah, I've made a start on that one. So yeah, I've got a few kind of plans and bits and pieces on the go. Let me know, obviously, in the comments below what you think about any of those. Sometimes I do kind of chop and change, so I don't always make completely firm plans, and sometimes my plans may change. I might get inspiration to make something else, and something will kind of fall by the wayside for something else to jump in place. But at the moment, these are the things that I kind of want to make next. So what's come into my sewing room this week? Well, one thing that came into my sewing room was kind of like a little surprise. So Adam from Adam Sews got in touch with me, and he said, could you send me your address? I have something little to send you. And he said, don't get too excited, it's only something small, but I think you will like it. So this week the item turned up, and he had done a lovely little package with a few little labels and things in. I'll pop a little photo in here, but what he had sent me was this. So this is, I think he was just testing out the embroidery option for some of the Tula Pink kind of embroidery options, and so he had made a little embroidery of a panda, and bless him, he thought of me when he made it, which was really lovely. And so he kind of turned it into a little coaster, and he's put a little Tula Pink label on it, and he sent that to me in the post. So how lovely is that? So thank you, Adam, that was really, really kind of you, and I absolutely love it. I don't want to put drinks on it and ruin it, so I've actually got it up on display in my sewing room on my little kind of board, you know, the IKEA sort of boards that you have like your hooks and everything. I've got it just set up there so that when I'm sewing I can see it in front of me, so that's really nice. So I do have some fabrics that have come into my stash. I have got 4, 5, 7 fabrics to share with you. So this is over the last couple of weeks. So my fabric stash, as you know, is quite big, and I am fairly regularly buying fabric. I am trying really, really hard at the moment not to buy too many. I know it doesn't look like that here, but after I receive these, I'm trying to hold off buying any more, because I want to kind of work through my stash a little bit more. I have got quite a big stash at the moment, and so I know Emmy from Emmy Sews, she has been doing a little bit of a sort of a series, I guess, on her YouTube channel, which is Sew From My Stash, or yeah, I can't remember what I think she's using a little hashtag. I'll find out what it is, and I'll put it across the screen here. But I'm kind of thinking that I might try and do something the same, along the same lines. So maybe after I've done some of these projects, I may sort of do that as part of my vlogs, and maybe kind of on a weekly basis pick either I just sneezed, so I've got a little touch of hay fever, I think, at the moment. So I was thinking that it might be quite nice to kind of either pick a pattern, and then maybe pick a couple of fabrics, and then maybe get you guys to decide what fabric I should choose for that particular pattern, so that I can start making a little bit more of a dent in my sewing stash, or fabric stash should I say. So yeah, I think that would be quite good to do, and it might help me kind of sort of rediscover some of my fabrics that have been sitting there for a little while. But the fabrics that have come into my sewing room recently, I made a purchase from Grid Fabrics. So they had shared this fabric and I didn't buy it at the time. I was trying to be good, and then I kept seeing people buy it, and it went out of stock, and then they got some more back in stock, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to order it, because if it goes out of stock again and I don't get any, then I think I might be a little bit upset. But I have since seen that a couple of other stockists have got this fabric. I know Bornella has recently got this in. I don't know whether they've sold out or not. It seems to be quite a popular fabric, but it's this one here, and it's called Market Day. So I mean, this would have been great for So Fruity, but it's just a really colourful kind of fabric, and it's got lots of kind of fruits and vegetables and different things on it, and I think this would just make a lovely kind of floaty dress, or possibly even a co-ord set for the summer. I do have 3 meters of this, so I just need to decide what I want to make with it, but I just love all the colors in that. It's all my kind of bright, lovely colors. So that is the first fabric that I've got to share with you. So the second fabric is one that I saw Alison from So Like Dotty share, and I think she was gifted this from Fleureteurs, I don't know how you pronounce it, and unfortunately Kaylee has decided to close her shop, so she is currently having a sale on and selling off some of her fabrics. I believe this particular one is now sold out, and this is a viscose, and it's from the Tapestry range, by, I'm just having a look on the selvage, where is it? I can't find the information, but it's called Tapestry, and it's this here. So it's all these lovely bright colours. Again, kind of a darker blue base, but with these lovely bright colours all over it. And I think this would look lovely as a dress, actually. I think this would really lend itself well to a nice summery dress. It's lightweight, it looks lovely, and it's nice and floaty. So yeah, I'm not sure what dress yet, but I think that would make a lovely dress. So whether I get all of this kind of stuff sewn up this year, but if not, it will just go into my stash and it will definitely get used at some point. The next fabric, I saw this being shared by Dee, who is KD Creates over on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel, and she had a few fabrics that she had picked up when she was on holiday, and she was selling on behalf of the shop. I think they were from her home country, and she bought a few fabrics back to try and sell. I don't know how many of them she has sold. She only had limited amounts of each one, but this particular one I saw come up, and I decided to buy this one from her because I just really loved the print. And it's this one here. So again, it's another kind of one that has various sort of things on it, fruits, and it has like soleil written on it, which is French for sun. It's got kind of fruits and various kind of summery kind of things on it. And this particular fabric, it feels very viscose like. It has a slight kind of texture to it, almost like a linen. I think she was understanding that it was a cotton, but it feels a little bit more kind of fluid to me, and it feels a little bit more kind of viscose based. So I'm not entirely sure of the full sort of base of that, but I thought this would be really nice for a co-ord set. So I do have a holiday coming up, but not until October. So I may look to make up a kind of little cord set, whether that be trousers and a little top, or whether I do that as shorts and a little top. I have 3 meters of this, so I have plenty to play with. So I might have a little go at doing a cord set with that, because I think that would be really nice for that. Oh, and I forgot to mention the tapestry one. I also have 3 meters. So yeah, I've got sort of 3 meters of all of those so far. And then Rainbow Fabrics had a little drop. Well, they've actually had quite a few drops recently, and I'm trying really hard not to buy any more, because I've bought 4 from them last week, and that's what I'm going to share with you here. And since then, I think they've had another 2 drops. They've had some beautiful like quilted, like reversible cotton, block print cottons, and they were beautiful. And there was one particular one that I absolutely loved, which was red, and I think it had these cranes, like the birds, the cranes all over it, but it sold out so quickly. So I was like, I'm kind of glad it did, because otherwise I might have been tempted to buy that one. They had some other lovely denims and stuff this week, I think, and they've had some viscose linens and quite colourful prints and stuff. And I've held off buying any of them. I'm trying not to, so I think I'll just stick with these ones. Now, these are a little bit more plainer. Well, one of them's a pattern and the other one's a plain, so a little bit different for me. But the first one I've got is this one. This is a viscose challis, and I just love, as you know, I love a bit of animal print, and I just love this kind of green and white. I have 2 meters of this, and I kind of envisaged a little top or a blouse of some kind with this, and I think that would be lovely. I mean, it goes quite nicely with these lame pants, and then it goes really nicely with one of the other fabrics that I've picked up from them. Which I'll show you in 2 seconds. So I picked up some of this. My hay fever is really playing up. I think it's because I've been out in the garden. It's yeah, and it's overcast today, so that doesn't help, because it kind of keeps the pollen down a little bit. So I picked up some of this, just plain black. This is actually a swimwear fabric. I've not made swimwear before. This was $4.99 a metre, and I bought 2 meters, and I kind of thought, well, I could just use it to test out maybe a swimsuit pattern. I do have a couple of swimwear fabrics in my stash, but I've never ventured into swimwear. So I might have a go at this, and I thought if I get 2 meters, then I could use some of this also as like the lining possibly, so I can just kind of double it up. But yeah, I wouldn't mind just giving that a go. So I've just bought a plain black, because you know, you can't beat a classic plain black swimsuit. And then I picked up a piece of denim, and it's in this one, a lovely bright green again. So this is the one that I thought goes quite well with this. So this is obviously the lightweight sort of for a top, and this is a bottom weight denim. I don't think this has any stretch to it. I'm just going to check. No, so this doesn't have any stretch to it. This is actually called parakeet green. And it's actually a denim twill, so you can see the twill weave there. It's really nice quality, and I bought 2 meters of that because for me 2 meters is about right for a pair of trousers. So as this is a denim, possibly I will look to have a go at another pair of jeans or something like that, but I love this bright emerald green, and yeah, I thought that all went nicely together. And then the last piece I have got is, this was 3 meters, and this is a viscose linen, and it is in this lovely bright orange colour, and it's got this kind of slubby sort of texture to it, so a little bit like that rammy linen I was trying to show you in the black, but yeah, I think that would be lovely. I can't quite decide what to make with this. I do have an orange kind of sort of embroidered cotton, which is a similar colour, which I was planning on possibly using to make a dress. I don't know whether this will be good for trousers of some kind, but I have made a few trousers recently, or whether I should look for something else. So I haven't quite decided, but I just love that bright orange colour. and I will have plenty of things that will kind of go with that. So yeah, they are all my purchases. And as I said, I do have a couple of fabrics pre-ordered that I bought from Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door, and they are her new collection, which is the, I think, what does she call it? It might be the Carnival collection or something like that. But it's her new sort of summery fabrics, and there was two. I just couldn't resist. They were quite expensive, but I kind of made a decision to purchase them. I had a little bit of money available to purchase them, and I thought I want to get them while they're still available. So they are in the plans to arrive. They haven't arrived yet. So when I do get those, I will share them with you, but they are on pre-order at the moment. But I think maybe next week they might be due in, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think that is everything that I pretty much have to share with you. So I'm going to sign off here and let you get on with the rest of your day. And thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would. My subscriber numbers have kind of been fairly static for quite a bit recently. So I'd love to kind of try and get those numbers up a little bit, but it's, you know, it's no biggie if you don't want to subscribe. It doesn't really cost you anything, but it just helps kind of push my videos out there a little bit and just get a little bit more kind of coverage and people being able to see them. That is all. So if you can do something like that, that would be great. But if not, then I'd love it if you could give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. And obviously please feel free to comment below if you have any thoughts on today's video. If you have enjoyed today's video, please let me know in the comments below. I love always hearing from everybody, and I always take the time out to reply. So I'm just really grateful to have you all along for the journey. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to head off. I've got an unexpectedly free weekend for the rest of my weekend now, which is quite nice. My husband is downstairs watching Formula One, so I've got a little bit of sewing time up here, and then tomorrow I have pretty much free, but I think we might do a couple more bits in the garden possibly. So I would quite like to go and buy some little plants and put some out there, because I've not done anything out there so far yet. So but yeah, so I might do that in the morning. But yeah, I'm sure I'll get some sewing time in. So thanks for watching, and I shall catch up with you again next week in my next video. But I hope you have a good week and you get some good sewing in. Thanks for watching. Bye.